Yeah. You can call over again?
Yep.
Okay. I'd like to recognize we're on Treaty 5 territory, land of the NCN, the Situates Equity Nation and Homeland Métis. Could we have an approval of the agenda, please? Councillor Saw. Councillor McIver. All in favor? Community comments and feedback.
Ron Matichuk, 20 Ash Street. I was wondering, 16 Nelson Road, what is the zoning of that property?
Not sure what 16 Nelson Road.
Pardon, 660 Nelson?
16, I believe it is. It's up on the agenda tonight.
I'm not sure.
I'm looking it up now, if you give me a minute.
That's Pomawita.
I believe it's a CDR or CDT, something like that, Lyle.
Yeah, it's commercial, I'm just not sure which is the zone.
And my next question is there abundance of these properties in the city of Taunton in the downtown area?
The city currently doesn't have an abundance of available lots, no. There are a
Yes.
limited number of lots throughout the city, depending on the different types. The one we'd have the most of would be industrial light and heavy. The ones we'd have least of would be commercial, with a mix of residential.
Well, there is not an abundance, but you guys are considering giving it away. My next question will be to the deputy mayor, I guess, as it's supposed to be. Is there an abundance of money in this city that we can be giving away properties?
Not to my knowledge, there isn't. If there is, I'd like to have some.
Good enough, that's what I wanted to hear. Hopefully everyone else in this room heard it.
Thank you. Adoption of the minutes. Resolution 2025-011, moved by Councillor Lundmark, seconded by Councillor McIver. Whereas on February 18th, 2025, council will be participating in a planning session. So. eh, My apologies. Try this again. Thank you, Dan. Okay. Sorry. Resolution 2025-009. Moved by Councillor Lundmark, seconded by Councillor McIver. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held in council chambers, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba on Monday, January 13th 2025 be adopted as circulated. All those in favor? Okay, unanimous. Carried. Resolution 2025-010, moved by Councillor Lundmark, seconded by Councillor McIver. Be it resolved that the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting of council held in council chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba on Monday, January 20th, 2025 be adopted as circulated. Administration? Anybody? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 2025-011, moved by Councillor McIver, seconded by Councillor McIver. Or sorry, moved by Councillor Lundmark, seconded by Councillor McIver. Whereas on February 18th, 2025, council will be participating in a planning session with Ways to Go consultants. Now therefore be resolved that council cancel the February 18th, 2025 committee of the whole meeting. Administration,
Yes, there's been discussions with the council for desire to do some more strategic planning to plan out the next 2 years of priorities and activities. The administration made arrangements with Way to Go Consulting for them to come to Thompson over a 2-day period. And the recommendation would be to pass this resolution so that council can have its tactical strategic planning session with the consultants.
anybody else? Councilor McIver? No. All those in favor? Carried. You. Okay.
conflict on this next
Okay.
resolution.
Thank you. Councillor Saw stepping out in conflict.
I also need to declare a conflict, so I'm just gonna leave the meeting. If someone maybe can text me when I can rejoin.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, resolution 2025-012, moved by Councillor Wong, seconded by Councillor Chong. Whereas the city is in receipt of an option to purchase application for lot 4, block 39, plan 741 LTO, approximately 18,800 square feet from Mama Weetok Friendship Center to be used as a green space for children. And whereas due to the swamp-like conditions of the land, Mama Weetok Friendship Center is requesting an in-kind donation for lot 4, block 30, plan 741 PLTO for $1. Now therefore be it resolved that council approved the option to purchase application for lot 4, block 39, plan 741 PLTO to the Mama Weetok Friendship Center at an in-kind cost of $1. Administration?
Yeah, good evening, council. So the early January committee of the whole, this was brought up and discussed. This was a request that was brought up in the past. And council had asked administration to go and seek out other properties to the other side of the Mama Weetok, so kind of to the south. Unfortunately, that land is not suitable given its condition. So it was brought back to council to look at providing this lot. It's again 16 Nelson. It's adjacent to their existing lots, so they own the properties on either side to allow them to develop a park and green space. The full description is written within the option document.
Councilor Wong?
Thank you, Chair. I definitely will support this resolution because I think the Mama Weetok, this organization is doing quite a bit of a good thing for the society. But I like to ask this question to administration. And this is the first time I seen this kind of a gift from the city to the private organization. My question to the administration is because this is an in-kind donation, kind of like a dollar thing. Can we put a condition if they decide in the future to sell it? How that work? Because to me, it's not right because we give it to them for free, almost like a free. So can we put a condition in the future if they decide to give up the use of land, they should come back to the city. That's how I look at it. Otherwise, it's not right to give a land and then later on they can turn into a profit. That is one thing I cannot agree on. Otherwise, I have no problem to support to have a green space for because of adjacent to the property to expand their service to the city. Can administration give me that answer, please?
Administration? Anything?
Yep, definitely, councillor. We have actually done that on other properties in the past that we've sold there. You can register a caveat and basically say that the city has a first right of refusal should that property be set up to be sold. We just have to work with legal on doing that. There would be complications if a building was put onto it, that then the city would have to purchase the building at probably a market value. But in terms of the land, yes, there's ways of putting those sorts of caveats. So if that's something council would be more comfortable with, we could make arrangements that way with legal counsel. That's not unusual.
Thank you. But administration, I think this is not the case. Because the application, they say they're just gonna turn into a green space. They're not mentioned about putting any buildings, and also because of the reason we agree with. Right, if you know they're gonna put a building, then we will have a different discussion. Because of all the terms and conditions, they're what they're planning to do. That's why I believe we all agree to have them turn into a green space, but. I understand what you're saying about the building, but it's not in this case, so. I'm wondering, can we do anything about that with this kind of arrangement?
So again, Councillor, that's yes, the building comment was just a hypothetical in the future. As far as we're aware, there is no building to be put there, and we would just be able to register that on the caveat. So we could do that through legal, if that's what council wants.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Are we going to be agree with that, or can we make a friendly amendment that, is that?
That's what I said, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Councilor Chow.
Thank you, Chair. And my question is, I do much support this organization, but after they take over the land, do they have to pay some kind of property tax?
Yes, sorry, Chair, if I can go ahead. Yeah, so once that land is sold by the city, it'll move from exempt to taxable. It'll be assessed on its value and any improvements, and then it'll be apportioned as tax just like any other property. So the city would start to generate tax off of that property based on how it's developed.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Valentino.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'm gonna be supporting this because the land has been designated as kind of swampy, and the need for it would probably only be like a green space spot. So I'm fine with supporting it as is. If council wants to support a caveat, that's fine too, but I'd like to see this move forward as soon as possible, as it makes sense for them to develop as green space in a play area, that property in between the two that they already use. And they are good citizens within our community with doing things. So I look forward to seeing how this will play out for them, and I'd like to support it and move it forward tonight. Thanks, bye.
Well. Director Sopranos.
Yep, good evening. So just a reminder to councillors and to Councillor Wong's question. So remember, this is the first step. This is solely the option. The caveats and that would be written into the development agreement, which is the next step of the process, right? So right now, basically, this is just saying to Mamaweetuck, yes, you've got security on this land while we work on the development agreement, which would contain all of those conditions or caveats that you just mentioned. So those would be drafted into the next step.
Sure, thank you. Okay, all those in favor? Oh, sorry, Councilor McIver.
Hi, thank you, Chair. I'm in agreement with this too, because Mamaweetuck is such an amazing organization that helps the whole community, not just different little sets and that, but it's for the whole community. So I'm in favor. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. So let Sandra, don't tell
I did,
Sandra,
yeah.
come back in.
I did.
And Councilor Saw. Okay, that's there now. 6.2. Resolution 2025-013. Moved by Councilor Saw, seconded by Councilor Chong. Whereas the Thompson Regional Community Center, TRCC, aims to provide a safe environment for citizens to enjoy sports, recreation activities, and administration recommends entering into an agreement with Garda World for security services. And whereas the proposed security contract requires an early budget approval of $55,000 to ensure implementation. Now therefore be resolved that council authorize administration to enter into an agreement with Garda World for the provision of security services. To be further resolved that this incorporated into 2025 capital budget estimates as a special project with offsetting funds being transferred to cover the public safety reserve account. And be Further resolved that council approve an early budget allocation of $55,000 to fund 10 months of security services. Administration.
Yeah, good evening again. So as per our committee of the whole discussion last week, the TRCC has seen a number of incidents regarding harassment to staff, harassment individuals, property damage. We've had individuals that have been banned from the TRCC. So again, providing this uniform security presence will help hopefully deter some of this activity. As we mentioned in the past, our staff are not security people. They're not trained to do that. So again, this will help provide some level of comfort to the public attending the building, but also the staff who work there.
Anybody else? Councilor McEver.
Thank you, Chair. I've had a meeting last week with some individuals that come and see me, and I have names here, but I'm not mentioning anything. But what I was told is that there are drugs sold on the other side in the TRCC because there's no cameras there. And they're selling vapes. They're going on that side to start fights and everything because there's no camera, there's no security. But there's actual, and a couple of them seen it, there's actual drugs being sold at the TRCC. And on the other side is because they actually seen it. They know who they are, and it's just troublesome for them. And like with Garda coming in, is that the whole building that they're gonna support, or is it just one area? Because that's where a few of our youth have been getting hurt because of the fighting and that, because there's no security there. Like, and I would like to see if Garda is coming in, it's the whole thing, the whole building, not just the TRCC area. Because there's one part there where it's not, there's no cameras or anything. It's not secure for anybody to go there because it's very dangerous.
Director.
Yeah, so the plan for the security officer would be, and I'm not sure which side, what you're talking about sides of the TRCC, but basically it's the entire footprint, the lobby, the Bill Kavatsky Wellness Center, NPR, Mary Fensky, the two arenas, the hall room in between. Basically all of that would be patrolled by this officer. And maybe we can take this offline, Counselor, but there are a number of cameras in that building, and there are very few blind spots. Other than, of course, there are none in the washroom area and things like that. But hallways, inside, outside, it's all covered.
Anthony.
Yeah, and further to those comments, Councillor, perhaps we could meet up with Lyle when he returns to Thompson. We can get some of that confidential information to the correct authorities, who can then follow up on those concerns that were brought to you separately.
Yeah. Councilor Long, John, sorry.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to know if this is a temporary testing program or is it long term?
Anthony.
My belief that the department had been planning it as a temporary thing for 2025, as a 1 year to see how things are going, and council can assess, and the council can make decisions on a longer term plan. But I'll defer to Lyle if there's anything different from that.
That's essentially it. Yeah, the goal is to test it this year, and if it is successful, to make it a permanent fixture solution.
No, I haven't finished yet.
Oh, sorry.
Who's going to monitor the program?
Sorry if I can't. Sorry, who would the security guard be interacting with at the TRCC?
Monitor the program, see whether it works.
So they would be working through our staff at the TRCC. So the director, Wiseman, or our facility manager, Stephen Allen.
Thank you. Councilor Sal.
Yes, thank you. And just for Sunday, Councilor McIver, as men mentioned as well, and just due to the sheer area that we're talking about, I'm fully in support of this resolution. As we mentioned before, I think if anything, we should start earlier, but in saying that, I'm glad to hear about the assessment part, because I really do believe we're gonna, if anything, I think we're going to need more than one person, one security guard walking along there. Going to that place of fear bit, that's a large area, and I'm glad that we're starting with this first step. This is the major gathering area for Thompsonites. And they need to feel confident that when they drop off their kids there, or when they partake in some sort of activity, that, there's some level of security. But in saying that, especially with the pool coming on stream, in not so distant future, I can really see this pool program being expanded. I think we would have to, but in saying that, I fully support this, and I look forward to a full report from administration, maybe some recommendation a year from now as to what they're seeing as the impact and whether it should be expanded down the road. So thank you.
Yep. Yeah, so all those in favor of moving this forward? Oh, sorry. Councilor Wong.
Thank you, Chair. Just a question, is it the reason for 10 months? What's the reason for the 10 months? Is it because of the summer we shut down?
Yeah, that's correct, Counselor. It's really from that September to June perspective, when the school is in. We typically see very, very, very low attendance in the building in the summer, unless there's an activity going on, nickel days, for example, or something like that. It's very quiet during the summer months. So the plan would be, from the period of September to June.
Okay, all those in favor? Carried. 6.4, resolution to approve budget for Winnipeg Ballet. Resolution 2025-014, moved by Councillor Saw, seconded by Councillor Chong. Whereas the Royal Canada Winnipeg Ballet is seeking $6,080 in funding to support hosting this cultural event in May 2025. Following the loss of a previously available $9,200 provincial grant due to eligibility changes. And whereas attendance fees of $25 per person with an expected audience of 100 to 150 people, and offsetting revenues of $3,750 will contribute to the event costs. Now therefore be resolved that council approve early budget allocation of $6,080 to support the Royal Canada Winnipeg Ballet cultural event in 2025. Administration, then? No. Council? No. All those in favor? Carried. 6.5, a resolution to approve early budget allocation for Jump in the Spring events. Resolution 2025-015, moved by Councillor Saw, seconded by Councillor Chong. Whereas the Jump into Spring event scheduled for March 2025 at the Thompson Regional Community Center requires $3,500 in funding to host a free community event featuring a video game room, skating, free hot dogs and pizza. And whereas the event has previously been supported by grants which may not be available for 2025. Now therefore be resolved that council approve early budget allocation of $3,500 to support the Jump into a Spring event at the TRCC in 2025. Administration, nothing. Council? All those in favor? Carried. 6.6. Resolution endorsing the Thompson Community Development Corporation. Okay. Resolution 2025-016, moved by Councillor Saw, seconded by Councillor Wong. Whereas the Thompson Community Development Corporation, TCDC, have requested a formal resolution for the TCDC to undertake initiatives aimed at enhancing Thompson's economic and immigration strategies. Now therefore be resolved that council appoint the Thompson Community Development Corporation to lead the city's labor market assessment and immigration partnership initiatives. Administration?
Yes, Deputy Mayor, if I could. So most, the city's Chamber of Commerce has shown a great interest in this program, as well as a number of employers throughout the community. Though moving ahead with the province requires a lead agency. The minister has discussed with the city in the past about establishing a program like this in Thompson, and has felt that the Thompson Community Development Corporation would be the primary organization to lead this, at least as an initial start, to do a labor market assessment and immigration partnership.
Anything else, council? All those in favor? Oh, sorry, Kathy, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I did. Thanks, Deputy Mayor. I'm supporting this. Obviously, there's concerns now with some of these immigration programs with the changes federally to immigration. I am hearing like through some municipalities that they are concerned now with some of those programs and less immigrations coming in. So I am supporting this. We might be a little bit late to the game with the city of Thompson on this, but perhaps we can get a good labor assessment out of this at this time. So I'll be supporting it as long as we're not the lead. Yep.
Okay, all those in favor? Carried. That's it, adjournment. Councilor Saul, Councilor Wong, all those in favor? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.